The ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore are attributed to Christopher Columbus. There's this myth around him, and for all that that myth is big, we know very little about him. We know he gained the support from the Spanish monarchs, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, for his voyages, and we know the devastation that those discoveries created. Italian cities with ports on the Mediterranean had a monopoly on European trade with Asia. By controlling these trade routes, the Italians controlled the prices. So as a result, countries like Spain, Portugal, France, England, and the Netherlands went in search for new routes to Asia. Explorers hoped to find rich overseas, especially gold and silver. In addition to these economic and political reasons, a lot of people were interested in converting others to Christianity. European states wanted to expand. Conquest brought new wealth to states through collection of taxes and through new trading opportunities. In time, it also brought great material wealth, especially in silver. Also in the 17th century, Europeans generally measured the wealth of a country and how much gold and silver it had accumulated. For this reason, countries set policies designed to sell as many goods as they could to other countries in order to maximize the amount of gold and silver coming into the country and to buy as few as possible from other countries to minimize the flow of precious metals out of the country. This theory was known as mercantilism. Again, you have these myths surrounding these early explorers, a lot of them coming from Portugal. They were funded by Prince Henry the Navigator, who also oversaw many explorations and, by the way, started the slave trade. Bartholomew Diaz sailed around the southern tip of Africa, and Vasco da Gama sailed further east than Diaz, landing in India in 1498. Early in the 16th century, the ruthless Portuguese admiral Alfonso de Albuquerque won a short but bloody battle with Arab traders and set up a factory at Malacca in present-day Indonesia. China's exploration of the outside world came to an end after Zheng He's final voyage in 1430s. Initial Portuguese visits had little impact on Chinese society, but the traders were followed by Roman Catholic missionaries, mainly Franciscans and Dominicans, who worked to gain converts among the Chinese people. The Jesuits soon followed and tried to win over the Chinese court elite, but failed. The Portuguese set up a series of forts in order to control the spice trades. The forts gave Portugal a global trading post empire, one based on small outposts rather than control of large territories. The Portuguese succeeded for a small amount of time, maybe a few decades, but Portugal was a small nation. They lacked the workers and soldiers and ships necessary to enforce a large trade empire. Many Portuguese merchants ignored their government and traded independently. Corruption led to its downfall, and suddenly the Dutch took advantage. They captured Malacca and built a fort in Java in 1620. In the early 16th century, the Portuguese also traveled to Japan to trade, followed by Christian missionaries in 1549. They formed large Catholic settlements until the 1600s, when Japanese rulers outlawed Catholicism and expelled the missionaries. Portuguese explorers such as Vasco da Gama were the first Western Europeans to reach the Indian Ocean by sea. Spanish ships, however, became the first to circumnavigate the globe when the government sponsored the voyage of Ferdinand Magellan. He died on the voyage in the Philippine Islands in 1522. Spain annexed the Philippines in 1521 when Magellan's fleet arrived there. The Spanish returned in 1565 and started a long campaign to conquer the Filipinos, who put up a fierce resistance. Manila became the Spanish commercial center in the area, attracting Chinese merchants and others. Because of the Portuguese and Spanish occupations, many Filipinos became Christian. Columbus and other European explorers sought a new route to Asia and hoped to find gold, silver, and other valuable resources. The Spanish found so little of value in their first 2 decades of contact that they considered stopping further exploration. The English, after sponsoring voyages in 1490s, made little attempt to explore or settle for almost a century. However, European interest in the Americas was rekindled when the Spanish came into contact with two major empires in the region, the Aztecs in Mesoamerica and the Incas in South America. These empires had the gold and silver that made exploration, conquest, and settlement profitable. In addition, Europeans soon realized that by using enslaved Native Americans and later enslaved Africans, they could grow wealthy by raising sugar, tobacco, and other valuable crops.